Good morning students. Today we are covering the subject Design and Analysis of Algorithm. This is a subject which is taught in engineering course in semester 5th, and this is basically the very first lecture of this subject. Today we are covering unit number 1 and the first topic of this topic. The content which we are covering in this lecture includes what is an algorithm, what is the study of why is the study of algorithm worthwhile, that is what is the need of studying algorithm, and what is the role of algorithms relative to other technologies used in computers. Okay, first of all we try to understand what do you mean by algorithms. Okay, if we talk about algorithm, what do we understand by this? Okay, we can say an algorithm is any well-defined computational procedure that takes some value or set of values as input and produces some value or set of values as output. That is, we can say, for example, if we are considering any algorithm, if we consider an algorithm, then in that algorithm we are providing some input, and on the basis of that input an output is generated. On the basis of that input an output is generated, and the input is basically some value or set of values which we provide as input. That input is given to the algorithm. Algorithm is basically, we can say, simply you can say it is a computational procedure. It is basically a computational procedure which we are talking about. Okay. And on that is, we are giving some input. That input is given to this algorithm, which is basically a sequence of steps, or you can say a computational procedure. And applying that algorithm, the desired output is generated, which is also some value or set of values which we get as output. Okay, thus we can say an algorithm is a sequence of computational steps that transform the input into the output. But the main term which is coming here is, what do you mean by computational procedure? To understand this, before one thing we notice that in the algorithm we are giving an input, and on the basis of that input the desired output is generating. Then what type of input we are giving? It depends upon the problem which we are solving. That is, it depends upon the problem which we are solving. That is, we are given a particular problem which we have to solve. We have been given a problem which we have to solve, and on the, for example, we have to solve the problem of sorting. Let's say we are given few numbers and we have to sort these numbers in ascending order. Then the problem is of sorting. Then in sorting we are giving input as numbers. That is, we are giving few numbers as input, and we have designed an algorithm for sorting. And when that input is provided to that algorithm, then with few computational steps that algorithm produces a desired output, which is basically the sorted numbers. Okay. Now, what is basically computational here means? We can say the algorithm which we are using is basically using, you can say, solving the computation. You can say computational procedure is basically for solving the computational problem. That is, the problem which we are having is basically a computational problem. That is, we are considering a computational problem, not just any kind of problem for solving. Computational here means whose solution can be implemented in theory on a computer. Okay, and implementation, that means that we are implementing that algorithm as a program on the system. Now we can say we can consider two types of problems. One is basically non-computational problems, and other are computational problems. Okay, other are computational problems. Basically, the algorithm is solving the computational problems, and we have told that computational means whose solution you can say whose solution can be implemented in theory on a computer. Then, what are the problems? We can understand few examples of what are non-computational problems. The first problems you can consider, for example, is there any cure for cancer? This is basically a non-computational problem. Is there any cure for cancer? Is basically a non-computational problem. Other problem of non-computational you can consider, how can I convince my boss to give me a salary raise? It is also a non-computational problem. And if we talk about computational problem, then we can say sorting is one of the computational problem. Okay, that is we are designing algorithm for solving computational problems and not for solving non-computational problems. Okay, now we can understand this topic with the help of a sorting problem we can consider. Okay, let's say we simply consider a problem for solving. What is sorting? Okay. What is sorting? Okay. We can say, let's say we are given a sequence of n numbers. That is, we are given a sequence of n numbers. Let's say these numbers are A1, A2, A3 up to A of n, and we have to generate an output. That is, we have to arrange these numbers, or we have to do a permutation of these numbers, we have to reorder these numbers in some sequence is known as sorting. That is, we are reordering or arranging these numbers in some order. You can say in some order, arranging these numbers in some, you can say, order. Let's say the numbers are arranged in order of A1 dash, then A2 dash, then A3 prime, and up to A of n prime, such that A1 prime is less than equal to A2 prime, is less than equal to A3 prime, is less than equal to An prime. That is, we are arranging the given numbers in some order, and the order is such that the first number is lesser than or equal to the second number, and second number is lesser than or equal to third number. That is, we are arranging the numbers in increasing order. Not basically we say in increasing order, because if duplicate numbers are coming, then the next number should be either equal to the previous number or should be greater than the previous number. That is, the new number is either equal to the previous number or greater than the previous number if duplicate numbers are coming or similar elements are coming. That's why this arrangement is basically not increasing order, it is basically a non-decreasing order. For example, let's say if we are given an array A, and let's say there are basically 6 elements given, and let's say the elements, for example, are 31, 41, 59, 26, 41 and 58. Okay, and these elements are sorted in, let's say, output array O, such that they are arranged in non-decreasing order. Then the output will be, when we are doing sorting, then the output should be first 26 come, then 31 is coming, then 41 is coming, again 41 is coming, and then 58 is coming, and 59 is coming. As we see that they are basically two similar numbers are there, 41 is similar number, hence why the first 41 is coming first and the second 41 is coming afterwards. As duplicates elements are coming, it means that two equal numbers are coming, hence this order is not basically increasing order, it is basically a non-decreasing order. That's why we say, thus we can define sorting, arranging the elements, or arranging, if we are talking about numbers, arranging the numbers in non-decreasing order is known as sorting. Okay. Now from this you can try to understand that we can say, now we can say an algorithm, we can say, can be viewed as a tool for solving a well-specified computational problem. Sorting is basically a well-defined computational problem. The statement of the problem specifies in general terms the desired input-output relationship. You see, the statement is that we are given an input sequence from A1 to AN. We are given the input sequence from A1 to AN. That is, these numbers we are having is basically the input sequence, and the output which we are producing from this thus provides you an input-output relationship. This is basically the input and this is basically the output. The algorithm describes a specific computational procedure, that is, we are designing a procedure for achieving this or that, you can say, input-output relationship. Now in the problem, one term came in, that is the problem. Basically we talk about is basically this is the problem, that is sorting is basically one of the problem which we are solving. Then in this case one term came which is known as the instance of a problem. Instance of a problem. What do you mean by instance of a problem? We can say an instance of a problem consists of the input needed to compute a solution to a problem, and that input satisfies whatever constraints are imposed in the problem statement. Okay, that is the input. If we are given this input, then this is known as the instance of the problem. If we change the input and another input is provided, then that will be the instance of the problem at that particular moment, and that input satisfies whatever constraints are imposed in the problem statement.